hours. That's how long this game has to impress me enough to keep playing. Otherwise, it gets refunded through Steam's 2-hour refund policy. So let's see if it has what it takes to pass the test. This is the Steam Refund Review. Alright, yes, I know. The Binding of Isaac was released way back in 2011, but guess what? I'm just now playing it for the first time, so it still counts for this review format. From what I know, this is one of the granddaddies of the indie roguelike games that so many other indie roguelikes took inspiration from, so of course I had to try it, considering I really like indie roguelikes. The Steam description for the game reads, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth is a randomly generated action RPG shooter with heavy roguelike elements. Following Isaac on his journey, players will find bizarre treasures that change Isaac's form, giving him superhuman abilities and enabling him to fight off droves of mysterious creatures, discover secrets, ... The description just kind of ends there with the ... I'm not sure if that's intentional or if it was an error on the Steam page or what, but I literally couldn't find more on the Steam page. But anyway, since this game is described as an action RPG roguelike, I just had to try it, like I said, because half the games I reviewed on this channel are roguelikes and the other half are RPGs, so yeah, it seems like it'd be right up my alley. The game seems to be massively popular, which is kind of interesting because I've never really heard anyone talk about this one, aside from the occasional oh, it's a great roguelike game, stuff like that. I've never met anyone in person that's like, oh, have you played this game? I love The Binding of Isaac. I've never experienced that. But after looking further into it, the game has an insane 308,000 reviews, with an even more insane positivity rate of being 97% on the Steam page. That's pretty impressive, so let's get into it and see if those massive numbers are warranted. Alright, so jumping into the game, what does it look like? The game throws you into a short, dark cutscene that we'll talk about a bit later, and after that, it throws you straight into the gameplay. You start in the cellar area where you encounter this grotesque creature and try to fight your way through and escape your mother's crazy wrath. This game is, seems pretty dark right off the bat. Kind of gross in a lot of ways too. I usually love games with dark themes and dark atmospheres, so, we'll see if this one follows that predisposition or not. Alright, so looking at the gameplay, so the game is pretty much exactly what you think a roguelike action RPG would look like. It's very similar in my opinion to Enter the Gungeon, which is another game I've reviewed in this format on this channel. You go around shooting bullets made of Isaac's tears at various monsters that you'll encounter along the way and find power-ups to make Isaac stronger. You can also carry things like bombs, keys, stuff like that. Bombs allow you to blow up debris that will hide items of value or chests, and the keys allow you to open different areas on the map and other chests and stuff like that. Generally, the game will give you 4 different paths to choose from until you find the boss room. If you kill the boss, you move on to the next floor. I encountered a room with a merchant to buy items, and other activities included exploring the various rooms, trying out new power-ups, clearing out piles of poop for some reason. But let's dive a bit more into the story and try to figure out exactly what's going on in this game. So the game has a short cutscene at the beginning about a baby named Isaac who has this overly religious mother who thinks that she hears her God tell Isaac that he is being influenced by evil, so she takes away all his belongings. After this, Isaac's mom hears from the quote-unquote God again, who tells her that she needs to get rid of Isaac to prove her loyalty and purge her home of evil. I told you this game is dark. Isaac is literally supposed to be a baby, I think, and unlike in the biblical story of Isaac, there's no divine intervention of breaking up what is supposed to be the child's death. Instead, from what I understand, the mother is in active pursuit of Isaac the whole time. He's trying to escape the cellar, and she continues to relentlessly try to purge Isaac from the face of the earth. Sounds really dark. I feel like this game is insinuating maybe a little bit more than what it lets on as you continue to explore the cellar. The enemies you'll encounter consist of other children that appear to be beheaded, a lot of piles of poop like I mentioned earlier, and other enemies that attack you with their blood. I don't know, this game's pretty messed up. I don't know what's going on. I want to go home. Moving on to graphics, they're pretty cool. They're really pixelated, but instead they almost look like hand-drawn or cartoony or something like that. It's kind of almost like what you see in like a 10-year-old do in a sketchbook or something. I think the graphics complement the game's overall dark theme, and they don't look that bad or sloppy by any means. The sound design was okay. I liked the narration in the beginning with the story, and the music was fine, but a lot of the enemy sounds were really repetitive and annoying. I don't know. I think looking back, I wasn't impressed by the sound design at all. Overall, after my first 2 hours, I'd say it's alright. Nothing wowed me about it. The dark and messed up story had me kind of intrigued at the beginning, but that kind of faded as I played and got annoyed by the different sound effects and weird enemy designs. There's nothing about this game that I inherently disliked. However, I think that the amount of indie roguelikes that are out now, this one kind of pales in comparison to a lot of them. Even though this might have been one of the original, I think that a lot of the ones that are out now are just better. Honestly, I'd rather go back and play Hades or something like that than try to slog through this one and see how it ends, if there even is a real ending, because I've seen people put thousands of hours in this one, which is a good thing for most games, but I personally can't see myself doing that. Alright, so value. This game's priced at $5 in the Steam store. According to howlongtobeat.com, it takes about 5 to 6 hours to beat at least the main story, and 357 hours to fully complete. Like I said, I've seen people on the Steam page that write reviews that have put thousands of hours into this game. So, I mean, based on that, I'd say that if you enjoy this game, then it's extremely well worth it if it can keep you occupied for 300 to 1,000 hours, especially, considering it's the price of a cup of coffee. But for me personally, I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 10 because, I don't know, I just really didn't enjoy any of it. Like I said, I didn't dislike any of it, I just didn't enjoy any of it either. I didn't really think the power-ups were especially creative or cool. I felt bored for the majority of the time that I played, and I just can't see myself playing much longer. So, the age-old question on my channel, am I going to be keeping this one or refunding it? I think it's probably pretty obvious by now, but for all the reasons mentioned above, this one will definitely be refunded for me. I just didn't enjoy it. Maybe if I had played this back in 2011, before legends like Hades, Slay the Spire, or Dead Cells came out, I'd appreciate it a little bit more. But like I said, since I played those games first, this one just really can't compare in my opinion, and it isn't even half as much fun as those games. So what do you think? Is this a bad take? Tell me what you think in the comments. And I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, even if you are remotely interested in this video and want to see more reviews like these. And as always, I'll see you guys later.